This is the show where I, Pasticie Luna, here with my co-host,
Manga Chef Isaiah.
watch or read a thing and, talk about it. And this week, Manga Chef Isaiah got to choose. And I'm really, go on.
Koito Uso.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I really, really like Koito Uso. Which kind of sucks, you know why? I'm really big on it. I was looking around. Most people, they're cool on it. They're like, it's really melodramatic. And I'm like, I love melodrama. Fuck you. Fuck all y'all. Lots of people are like, And I'm like, no, this is way better. What, are you hype about the shield hero? Is that what it is, you fucking loser?
I mean, it gets pretty dramatic.
It gets really dramatic. It's almost Koji Sale-esque.
But I'll say the beginning's kinda slow.
Yeah, but I kinda like that. Because the thing is, you know what? Set up Koito Uso before we get into it.
Okay. The premise or the characters?
The premise.
Alright.
Because I do the characters next.
Alright. So, Koito Uso, it means, love and lies.
Correct. Oh, look at that! You knew it for once!
I mean, it's only 2 words.
It's really obvious. Paul always means and. Koi means love. Uso means lie. I don't know how hard that is to understand. But, sometimes you have no fucking clue what's going on. So I'm always excited. It's like when you do research on voice actors and then you actually come up with an answer. I'm excited. Little victories,
Little victory.
Little victories.
Anyways. So, it's like the future, I guess? They didn't really give a date.
It's one of those 10 years into the future thing where it's like not too far into the future, but it's a little more advanced than where we're at.
Yeah.
It's a what you call speculative fiction. We're like, what if a few years from now this were the thing?
Yeah, so in Japan they're doing this thing where they have arranged marriages. And
Correct.
They get a notice from the government when they turn 16 about who your partner for life is going to be.
Uh-huh.
And it's like scientifically proven they're the best match.
Well, the thing is, not only are they the best match for you as a person, they're also produced. It's a eugenics project, basically, which I think that's the second time we've brought up eugenics on this show. Which is not a thing I ever wanted to say, but hey, here we are. It's a eugenics project where it's like, oh, did you know that the children born from these Yukari, they call it the Yukari system, born from these Yukari marriages, actually are smarter, better at sports, have more talent on average than children born outside of the Yukari system. Also, it's been happening for about 1 generation now, rather than all that, or maybe 2. So because most people, they acknowledge that not too long ago, most marriages had nothing to do with the system. Also, it's based on a semi-realistic thing because in Japan there has been low birth rates as of recent. But that's more of a social strata thing than it is a why ain't nobody fucking thing. Times are changing, and the Japanese culture is not exactly designed for that change. So it makes...
I guess this would be like the what if we did this.
Correct, is the idea. It reminds me a lot of Battle Royale in that sense, in where Battle Royale is like, look, kids are being shitty. What if we did this to stop kids from being shitty? And people are like, that sounds horrible. And I'm like, yeah, well, suck it. And like this also feels the same way to me, where it's like, Nobody's having kids. Let's form a eugenics project to make the best kids. That sounds horrible. No, fuck you. It's gonna be great. Science proves I'm right. That's exactly what they said. The Nazis said about eugenics. So, although to be fair, Nazis weren't the first people who brought up eugenics. Anywho, yeah, that's kind of the system.
Yeah. And
So now, who are we following?
and now we're gonna follow Nejima
Yes,
and Takasaki.
correct. So Nejima's in love with Takasaki. They've been in love. He's been in love with her since they were kids.
Middle
And he's
school.
like,
Yeah.
oh man, yeah. I mean, he's 16 now, right?
Yeah.
So that's still like what, 5 years?
Yeah.
At the very least. So yeah. Although later on they show pictures of him being even younger and still going like, oh, I really like her. So, I don't know. It's not very accurate as to when he fell in love with her. But
So,
yeah.
He before he turned 16, he's like, I wanna confess my feelings to her.
There
And
you go.
she says, well, she likes him.
hmm
And
then he gets
then he
noticed.
gets his notice, and he's like,
It- Well,
it's not her.
one thing I want to say. There's a beat where he sees Misaki Takasaki, and then the screen goes black. And then they give him a paper, like the two people, fucking Yajima and Ichijo. They come over and they give him a paper, and then the name on the paper is not the one that was on his phone. The name on the paper is Lilina Sanada. But the one he got on his phone was Misaki Takasaki. And he goes like, girl, what the fuck? And I'm like, don't worry about that. There's been an error in the system. Don't overthink it. Here you go. And he's like, but and that's it. So it's sort of a rectangle once we include fucking Nejima's best friend, Nisaka. And so there's 4 principal characters: Misaki Takasaki, Yukari Nejima, Riri Sanada, Yusuke Nisaka, and we can count Sho Igarashi, but she only becomes more important way later. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. It's Riri trying to understand what love is, and Nejima trying to work out his feelings over Takasaki, Takasaki trying to work out her feelings with him, and Nisaka, who's Nejima's best friend. And then, like, fucking, like, what, 15 chapters in, it becomes really obvious. I mean, like, well, 4 chapters in if you read the step in between 4 and 5, where it becomes very obvious Nisaka is in love with Nejima. What I love is I was rereading it, because you wanted to do this. And I said, sure, you know what, it'll give me a good chance. I've been keeping up with it, but I forgot how, like, at chapter 30, Nejima already knows Nisaka is hiding something from him. And he gets it super fucking wrong minute 1.
Yeah, he thinks he's in love.
He's like, you love Takasaki, don't you? And he's like, what? Well, actually, what Nejima says is, you're hiding something from me. And Nisaka goes like, look, man, I don't want to talk about it. And he's like, I thought we were friends. He's like, shut up. And I don't want to talk about it. And then, like, fucking 80 chapters after that, he goes, you're in love with Takasaki. He goes, what the hell made you believe that? Like, you guys talk, and you guys seem friendly, and I thought to myself, like, there's a lot of lines where when Takasaki and Nisaka are stuck alone because Nejima leaves, or they're hanging out at Kirina and she has a thing, so Nejima goes to talk to her. That, like, you can hear Takasaki call Nisaka a pervert and a weirdo, and I'm like, oh, she knows he's gay. That's probably why they're so comfortable. Where they're both in love with the same guy, but neither of them have been able to say anything about it. Up until the point that he's already kissing Takasaki and admitting how he feels about her. So, there was a show for this that aired in July 4th, 2017, from July 4th, 2017 to September 19th, 2017. And the manga started in August 10th, 2014, and it's still going right now. Today, we've read up till chapter 197, right?
196.
You didn't read 197?
It was 197.
Fuck.
Alright, the last thing I wrote was, they were doing Nisaka's flashback.
That's been going on for like 5 chapters.
So it's just still the flashback.
It's still the flashback.
Okay.
It's him saying, I'm going to go to Nejima's school now because I can't let go. He's come to terms with the fact that he's in love with him.
Yeah, that's where I left off.
No, I mean like he's literally applying to the school and everything. That's the last thing. It's still in the same sort of thing, like as if to say like, oh yeah, look, it's still happening. Like Nisaka was fucking crying when he realized he was in love with Nejima and didn't know what to do about it. And Nejima was like, dude, are you okay? And he's like, look, he's stupid, but I'm really stupid. And I was like, oh no. Oh. And that's why they're in high school together. Okay, so, like I said, 4 principal characters. I guess we can count Igarashi, but I wanted to bring up their voice actors from the show before we got into the story from the manga. So, Misaki Takasaki is voiced by Kana Hanazawa. Do I need to say anything at this point?
Nope.
How many times did she come up in our show?
Almost every episode of the anime.
Like everything about romance and multiple girls, she comes up, I feel. Okay. Yukari Nejima is voiced by Ryota Osaka. Do you remember that name? We've talked about it before.
Yeah, I remember the name.
Who is he?
I don't remember what he did.
He's Hatate Sota from Gawarare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to bend this death flag. I didn't know I could do that, but I guess I can. He was also on Show by Rock. Rakuda Kishi no Cavalry is the lead guy, which is among one of the few fight things I was able to read and not get bored of really fast. And he was the voice of Yamada from Yamada Kun Toranani no Maho. By the way, that show is really relative to everything we're talking about. Because the next person I'm going to bring up is Lady Nasanada, who's voiced by Yui Makino. And Yui Makino was Fumina Hoshino on the fucking Gundam Build Fighters, where the kids were building models. She built the winning Gundam. These are the few things I know. Hey, Patricia Luda, have you been keeping up with Shingeki no Kyojin? No. Have you been reading Happiness by Shuzo Oshimi about the vampires and the time travel murder? What? It just ended. You should really get in. You want to talk about the Gundam with the tiny robots I built to fight with my friends? That sounds stupid. No, shut up. It's great. You don't understand. Right. Also, Yui Makino is the voice of Mayu Sakuma, the creepy stalker girl idol from Cinderella Girls. So, Idolmaster is in there. He gotcha. Also, in Yamada Kutorani no Maho, do you remember Meiko Otsuka, the psychic girl? One of the first Circle of Witches?
Mm-hmm.
That was all in the show, that was also voiced by Yui Makino. Yusuke Nisaka is voiced by Shinosuke Tachibana. Shinosuke Tachibana was also on Gundam Build Fighters as that black kid, Nils Nielsen, the scientist who built the Sengoku Astray. Which, by the way, I like the Sengoku Astray. That's a really cool design of a robot. Anyway, he was also the main guy on Sekire, Minato. And for the Fujos, he's the Arabic prince, Soma, in Kuroshi Tsuji. And one last one is, he's Shinichi Tamaki, the invisible witch quirk stealing guy from fucking Yamada Kunonai no Maho. Remember the guy who was like, you can't see me if I kiss you?
Yep.
Yeah, him. And Eri Kitamura voices Shu Igarashi. Eri Kitamura is really famous, so I don't know why people wouldn't know her, but I'll humor you. She's Mina Ashito, the poison bug girl thing on Boku no Hero Academia. She's Grey Fullbuster on Fairy Tail. For me, she's Mahito, the main guy on Hayore Nyaruko-san. We've talked about her before, both in the vague sense, and also because she's Dronko, Hajimete no Gyaru. And, again, Yamada Kuntonari no Maho, she was Odagiri Nene, the girl with the power to make you fall in love with her when she kissed you. So yeah, of the 5 principal characters, Four of them have been on Yamada Kuntanai Namaho.
Hmm. And that show's kind of similar to this one.
Yeah, it's really emotional. I'll give it that. There's a lot of dumb melodrama by the end of it. At least the end of the manga. Because the show drops off pretty hard. The show ends at the first witch circle. There's two more witch circles.
Whenever you tell someone, they're like, what?
Well, yeah. Well, that's if anyone saw that fucking show to begin with. So it's like, hey, how about you check out this show where every time, where girls have magical powers that they can infect on people by kissing. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, and like stands from JoJo and Part 4 going forward, they reflect who you are as a person and your deepest desire. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, we're trying to solve them to get them all together, because if we get all seven together, you can make a wish. But then there's seven new powers, and then there's seven guys, and doesn't have to be kisses anymore, and man, the seventh witch power is, well, it's a whole thing. Like, that already sounds confusing from the first circle. So, I've only been able to get people who are in already on this kind of weird shit to get in on it. Otherwise, nah, nobody. It's hard to get a Fujoshi to go, hey, wanna check out this thing? And like, is there a gay romance even remotely involved? You could imagine one. No thanks. Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
It's not gay enough.
It's not gay enough. At least be pseudo-gay, like free. But no. Okay, so what did you want to talk about with Koito Uso? Because we could literally just recount the narrative and go hours on it. So you just pick something.
I thought that's what we were gonna do.
Oh god. Okay. Fine. Okay. Here's what I want to say up top. If he doesn't marry Takasaki, I will riot.
He's going to.
He better. He better is my point, because he's not sure right now. He's confused.
No, right? He said
no.
He's going on.
No, she broke up with him, and he's like, and he's like fucking fragile right now.
Because all these other people are saying they love him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. He's not in a good spot right now. If this is the spot where he gives up, I'm a fucking riot. Because in Ichigo 100%, whoop-de-doo, a reference to harem thing. Ichigo 100%, the guy is desperately in love with one girl, but he's actually been looking for this other girl the entire time. And you know what happens? When he finds that other girl, he still sticks with the first one. It's bullshit. And yeah, the girl I liked wasn't even in the running. But that's to be expected. I always like the underdog. That's not weird. For once, I like the first girl. And god damn it, if this is one of the few times second girl wins, I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna be Elliot Rogers and like be standing outside of a college with a sniper rifle and just going bang, bang, bang. Why did my writer let me down? That's what's gonna happen. You know what I realized? Just saying that out loud. I have a really dark sense of humor. Because for some reason, the idea of somebody committing murder over something as pointless as a story, that's a book that they read, is really funny to me. When really, that's kind of scary. Like that guy who shot up a bunch of people because he wanted to be friends with Ember from Danny Phantom, remember? Like, that's a real thing that happened. I shouldn't be laughing about that. But, man, I just think that's funny. He didn't pick Aya Tojo. I'm gonna murder someone. But yeah, no, I'm mad because I don't know where he's going. Reina has just accepted that she's in love with him. Nisaka told him the truth, and he's not. And like, it's not even that he's capable of falling in love with Nisaka. It's just that he doesn't want to let him go.
That was weird.
I get it. Because Nisaka's like his only friend, really.
Mm-hmm.
But he did have to learn how to accept that boundary, as if to go, look, I'm in love with you and you're my friend. That's not how friendship works, so we're gonna have to stop here. but he didn't want to stop. And I understand why he did it, but I can't say what's the word? I agree with what he's doing.
Misaka or Nejima?
Well, no, Nejima. Nejima's the one who kissed Nisaka.
Uh,
That's why
to
Nisaka
not let him
smacked
go.
the shit. Yeah. Like I told you, Nisaka's his only friend, more or less. Like in the flashback chapters, you can see how hard Nejima worked to try to make Nisaka his friend. Because
I
he
know, but he
admired him.
doesn't like him that way.
I know. That's my point. But like, I get why you're doing it, but you really can't do stuff like that. I understand it. I just don't condone what he's doing. That's the word I was thinking. Condone.
Okay.
Which is why when Nisaka smacked his shit, I'm like, yeah. I mean, what else are you gonna do? But now he's like all emotionally fragile, and he's like sitting in his room, and Midina came in to see how he's doing, and he's like, I don't fucking know. Takasaki's actively avoiding me. Nisaka's not gonna be my friend anymore. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Remember, like when Midina and Nejima had that moment where they were talking with each other, he goes like, I want all four of us to be together forever. And now it's like being made how evident how unrealistic that is, considering their actual circumstances. Mind you, Nejima and Midina were not aware that Nisaka was in love with Nejima this entire time. But now that they are, they just kind of have to take it for what it is. As, you know, as disrupting or painful as it might be, I would argue that it's more important that if you genuinely like Nisaka, to let him have his moment and just go. Because I can't imagine how painful that is.
Yeah. He's trying to move on, but Nejima's now like, no.
Doesn't want him to. Yeah. Well, again, that's because they're approaching it from two very different perspectives.
I think Nisaka can't hang out with him, right?
No.
He said he can't.
No. He can't. You can't. You categorically can't. Because remember how he reacted when he saw Nejima and Takasaki making out? He looked fucking beaten down. And he was already having enough trouble as it was when Nejima admitted that he liked a girl. He kept sticking around and going like, this'll be fine, I can be his friend. But that, and mind you, that's that sometimes when Nejima's asleep, Nisaka kisses him, which is not okay.
He only did it once. I don't think
No,
he did it all
I think
the time.
that's a thing he's done a few times.
A few times? Oh.
I think he's done that more than once, because there was a level of confidence he had when he did that. There was no awkward beating around the bush with that. He just did it. I think he's done that more than once.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't say for sure, but like there was no hesitation, which is usually how people do that. You know, if they're going to do that, they're not really like, ah, fuck, can I get away with it? He just did it. It's like he's not gonna react. Which is a kind of confidence I don't think you can get by doing it just once. That's what I'm saying. I feel like he must have done it at least twice. But, yeah. So, I don't know. I think they're coming at it from two really different spots, because Nejima's just like, I just want to spend time with you, and Nisaka's like, no, you don't understand. I want to, like, be involved with you romantically. I can't just, like, hang out. I want to hold hands, I want to kiss, I want to do all that shit, and I can't just hang out with you while I watch you have to actively make out with this other girl. Like, I can't do that. That's too much. And yeah, that's why I've always taken the stance, but if you want to be romantically involved with someone, you can't actually be their friend. Because that's you having to accept all those boundary lines that friendship requires. And if you're capable of doing that, then I don't think you're genuinely all that deeply invested in the person. And if you're not capable of doing that, then you need to go. Because you're just gonna stress yourself out. You're gonna be like a person who's waiting on a bus that never shows up.
So
Like,
Nisaka's in the right.
I think he's in the right. I think it makes perfect sense for him to leave.
Although I was drawn to this kissing like that.
I was going to say, hey, don't kiss the dude while he's asleep. Come on. And B, you should have told him this years ago.
He said he thought he
Cause
got it.
no, no, because just now he was like, I thought you understood, and it was like, what? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Because it's just now that he's distancing himself. I mean, he should have done this shit forever ago. The second he realized he was in love, he should have made his feelings clear and then ran away if it didn't work out. Instead, because that was right when they were coming into high school. See, that's why I asked if you read 97. Because 97 is him deciding what high school he wants to go to. And he decides he likes Nejima and so much that he wants to spend high school with him. So they applied at the same high school.
I feel
And
like
he's
I
like,
read that.
that's the last, that was 97. That's 197. That's why I'm asking if you read that. Because that's the second he realizes how he feels. Up until now, he's been like kind of funny about it. He's like, I remember liking that older guy, and that older guy and I kissed a few times, but then he told me not to. And I don't know. I never really had anyone else make me feel that way except this guy right now. Oh, I get it. I'm in love with him. Fuck. And they're talking about applying to high schools. So that's maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, depending on how much time has passed during the course of this manga. Right?
So you should have done it a while, like
So
during high school.
should have done it at the beginning of high school. Should have done it when you got into high school.
But I mean,
Maybe a while afterwards, but you can't. No, because he's been holding this in for 3 years. And he's been letting Nejima believe that they're just friends. When that's not why they're hanging out.
I mean, isn't it kind of hard when you're like,
It is. But you also have to trust. The reason you like him, I'm gonna guess, if only because of everything I've been reading. The reason Nisaka likes Nejima is because Nejima's such a nice, squishy guy. And you can tell that Nejima doesn't want to actually have the part from Nisaka, so much so that he thought, if I can kiss him, maybe he'll stick around. Which is not how that works. But, that you could tell that Nejima probably would have taken it a little bit easier if there wasn't 4 years of prelude.
yeah, like when he was giving his government notice.
Yeah,
Definitely should have done before that.
definitely should have done it before that. And I imagine Nejima has made it clear that he likes Takasaki before, right? Why not say it then? Why just beat around the bush and hang out with this person that you know it's slowly hurting you inside? Because you think this is the best way to spend time with him? Think about that. Are you going to spend the rest of your life doing that? No, you're not. You can't. It's not. It's not helpful to you. It's not actually going to make you feel any better. You're not going to move on if you don't do something about it. And I get that that's why he's doing it now. I'm just saying, you can't have expected this to be a clean break if you're doing this after so much has happened.
Yeah, he definitely should have talked about it more.
A lot earlier, yeah. As much as I hate to put personal experience into a writing thing, if I'm not personally invested in somebody, I make it pretty clear up front so that, they can go and meet people who will be personally invested in them. Because that's just not cool. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And Nisaka, if you felt this way, I understand that, like, on top of the fact that A, you're in love with your friend, B, you're gay, and that's not an easy thing to pull off when you're not sure. I feel like the homosexual crush is always a lot more awkward because you're never sure how the person's going to react to it. Like, you don't know if they're going to be cool with it, if they're going to hate you, if they're going to be shitty and tell everybody, or how that's going to pan out. So I super get being afraid of the consequences. But when you consider telling this guy after knowing him for so long and seeing how far he throws himself forward for pointless shit, and how he's such a nice, squishy guy, I'm pretty sure this guy wasn't going to be a dick about it. Just this guy. I'm not saying anybody else. I'm saying this guy. So maybe should have talked about it sooner. That's all I'm gonna say about
Actually,
that.
when I first watched the anime, I didn't even know you liked him.
Well, I don't know how the show put it out because you told me that the show ended in the wedding, right?
Yeah, and the manga
That's
didn't even
really
like
early.
do what the wedding did.
That's really early.
Yeah.
That's like chapter 30?
I think he also went to the hot springs with her, but that was after the wedding.
Yeah, that's after the wedding.
But
So,
yeah, I think
uh,
he also went to the hot springs because you
yeah,
gotta have hot springs.
because you gotta have a hot spring episode. Who doesn't want to see half naked girls? Yay! But really, it's like honestly talking about, I don't know how the show did it because shows have a lot more limitations than writing. You know,
It
shows
was
have.
basically like all harem ending, but if you want to know the real story, read the manga.
Mm,
Like he takes
so
a
the
wedding
show.
picture of both of them.
Oh, so the show ends with him taking a picture with both of them as if to say, "We'll always be together."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, the point of the manga is that that's a childish outlook, and you're gonna have to figure it out. Which I don't agree with necessarily. You don't necessarily have to live a life that's conforming to society, but it is a very Japanese outlook. So to be like, I have to live a way that I can be beneficial to society and not stand out. Remember, I told you about that Japanese idiom, right? The nail that sticks out the first is the one that gets hammered down first. Yeah, that's that's how that is. It's how it is. If the nail that sticks out gets hammered down,
So make sure
and
you conform to society.
exactly,
Yeah.
it's part of the culture there, which is why I bring it up so much because like it's important to recognize that there are cultural differences between a lot of other people and the way they would see relationships and stuff panned out in romance manga because their conception of the world is completely different. And that's why and that's why the gay thing is so hard to run the risk with because it's like, oh, they're different and we don't really understand what you're going through and I don't really know how to do that or how to deal with it. So we're just gonna push you off to the side and pretend you don't exist. It's like stupid and bullshit. But it is what it is.
Don't you remember
Uh
that guy that was helping Misaka when he was like in
yeah,
middle school or camp school?
yeah,
He said he went with his partner, or behind his partner's back he would like hang out with the guy he really likes, stuff
yeah.
like that.
That's that's what the fuck do they call that in here in America? There's a thing for that. On the down low. That's it. It's more common in African American communities because it's like, let's be honest, urban African American communities are kind of homophobic. As much as we love to talk about DMX and appreciate his music, what's that line? What's the line? I show no love to homo thugs.
Yeah, that was it.
Is that it?
Mhm.
Fuck. I show no love to homo thugs. Empty out, reload, and throw some more slugs. How you gonna explain fucking a man? Damn it. How can you explain fucking a man? Even if we squash the beef, I ain't touching your hand. I don't buck with the chumps for those that've been to jail, and then I think it's a bunch of other shit. Oh, yeah, he also hates trans women. It's in that line. It's I don't fuck with niggas that think they broads. Only know how to be one way, that's the dog. Yeah. Which, like, that song was really popular. Where the Hood at? People love the shit out of that song. People still blast that song.
I don't
to
think
this
they're
day.
listening to the music and the lyrics.
The lyrics. Yeah, yeah. Well, oh, that reminds me. Did I tell you about that time Shepard Shepard and I were talking about dance hall, and I was like, man, I love that Buju Banton song, but I can't listen to that shit. That shit is literally talking about shooting gay guys in the head. And he's like, what? And I play Boom Bye Bye. He's like, oh, I fucking love that song. I'm like, have you heard what the hell he sang? And he's like, nah, not really. Like the chorus is literally it's boom bye bye and a bati boy ahead. Rubo no promo no mastiman him half he dead. Which is like I have to shoot them in the head. We don't do that here. They have to die. And the verses are just stories about gay couples, and he's like, and that's why we kill them. fuck them.
Just no reason, just
Yeah,
'cause.
for like 4.5 minutes of like. Which reminds me, I think I also said this before. I don't know if I've said it on the show, but I've said it before to you when we were talking about that when they shot that guy who heads J Flag, the Jamaican group that pushes for LGBT rights. When they killed him, a whole bunch of people were just outside of their offices blasting Buju Banton and dancing happily. And I was like, yikes. Yikes.
So if you're gay, don't go to Jamaica
You
or
can't
anywhere.
go to a lot of places. Like a
Basically,
lot
just
of
go to America.
basically just stick to very, 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 very liberal modern countries. So, America, parts of Europe, Japan. Like
I
as
feel
much
like
as
Japan's like, eh.
no, Japan's if you're gonna live there. If you want to hang out for a while,
Oh yeah,
that's fine.
yeah. I meant live there. If you want to live.
Oh, I didn't mean live there. I meant hang out, like go on a trip.
Oh.
Because in Russia, like sometimes they just beat up and maim gay guys who went on a trip. Like that's what I mean.
That's okay.
Yeah. It's not great. It's not great. Which is again why I fully understand why Nisaka wasn't sure about admitting his feelings or any of that. I super get the paranoia and the fear and like the backlash that can come out of it. But I was gonna say, you know Nejima. Would Nejima do something?
No.
No. No, I wouldn't. Well, I mean, to be fair, this whole thing kind of kicked off when they were in class and they were talking about the gay notices. Like, look, they'll even pair up gay people with each other. And then that one guy says, the guy with the glasses says that shit that, like, really, I don't know, it got to me in a weird place. I guess maybe because I feel like I've heard that before. But it's supposed to be innocuous and friendly. He's like, haha, isn't that great? But he says, yeah, then we don't have to deal with them. I was like, oh. Oh no. And he's like, yeah, it's gross, isn't it? And Nisaka just runs away crying. It's like, yeah, that's fucked up. It's fucking awful. How could you feel okay about that, you know? You couldn't. Couldn't. Makes total sense. Just saying, Nisaka can be, like, totally worried, but Nejima wasn't gonna do that. Nejima really wasn't gonna do that.
I mean, he did axe out Takasaki, but that's about it.
No, I mean, he wasn't gonna be shitty about Nisaka liking him.
I know he wasn't. Oh yeah.
That's what I mean. Cause like sometimes when you read yaoi and like boys love manga, there's the scenes where like a guy. I think you read Konbini-kun, right? Remember where he goes like he tells the guy he likes him, and then the entire school turned on him really hard, or all the guys turned on him really hard because like man, can't believe he's fucking gay. Like that's a thing you could be paranoid about, because he told his friends, and then his friends were fucking assholes about it.
Yeah,
And
I
on
can
the
see
other
why Nejima wouldn't do that though, because it doesn't have anybody else.
That's what I mean. Like Nejima, though, the squishy, weak, friendly boy that we know, he wouldn't do that. I don't even think he really talks to anybody else. Which again, I understand why he's so desperate to keep Nisaka, but look, man, you can't tie him down when this is happening. You know, like this isn't something you could fucking ask of him.
It kind of sucks though. He has no friends, just people that love
Yeah.
him really hard.
He has 3 people who love him really hard. And one of them, he's like, we're pals. And then they made out. And he's like, oh no. I feel that's a good transition point to talk about Irina. Because
Each
what
one of
the
these
fuck was
characters
that?
have so much.
What the
going
fuck was that?
on.
What the fuck was that? Let's practice kissing. What the fuck was that?
She just wasn't being honest.
What the fuck?
like
Yeah, you're
everyone
lying
else
to
is.
yourself. What the fuck?
What?
No, that's the theme, isn't it?
Yeah,
Of and
that's
lying.
why you read this.
That's why I like it. And that's why I'm so surprised so many people are like, eh. I'm like, fuck you. This is really interesting. I guess maybe they're talking about the show. I don't know how the show turned out, but this is really going places.
Like I said before, the show is kind of eh.
The
Read
show's
the
kind
manga.
of
If
okay.
you went
The
through
manga's
all
way
stuff.
better. Okay.
But it did look
I
pretty,
didn't watch
so-
the show. I watched like 2 episodes of it, and I was like, I think it's actually just gonna stop pretty early. Fuck it, I'll go back to reading. But cool Frederick song. That's what I acknowledged.
Uh,
I was like, cool Frederick song. I like Frederick. I've liked them since they put out Odd Loop. I don't know if you remember, but there was that time in our group chat, Dylan put that there. And he was like, yo, can somebody give me the title? I'm like, it's in English right there. It says Frederick Odd Loop. And it's like, I wasn't sure which one was which. I'm like, the band is Frederick, the album is Odd Loop. Good album. Check it out.
yeah, I remember
But,
that.
yeah. By the way, Kanashi Udeshi is a really interesting song thematically for the show. I can't tell if they wrote the song for the show or if they were already... Because they didn't put that out as a single beforehand. So I can't tell if they wrote it for the show or not, like if they were contracted. But it's a really interesting song. If only because the title is literally sadness and happiness. Or rather, tragedy and happiness, I guess, is the more direct translation. But the point is, do you know how they call the Yukari system the red ring of science, the red thread of science? It's that. That's what it's about, sort of. Like, it's like draw a line. Manga no sen wo egaita chipoke no kokoro no hanashi, which is like drawing a line from. It's the story of a small heart. And like, bokura no mirai doko ni mukate hikari zo. Bokura no mirai, our future. I'm not gonna translate it literally because if I translate it literally, it'll be our future light up. Like it's because Japanese is stupid that way. It's just a lot of like, oh man, where's our future gonna go? The chorus is just saying sad and then happy and then shaken by two emotions. I want to go to the destination I can't see yet. Let me swim in the dream even though it's a lie. I'll be looking for the present that's right for me. We believe in a future that we can't see, and we're looking for that continuous. Looking for that present that is that will be bright. So yeah,
It's about looking
it's
for
about
the best
it's
future.
about being confused about love, honestly,
Oh,
and looking for the best future as a result of it. Because that's what the red ring, what the red thread always means.
Who's
It
gonna
means the
make me the
person you're
happiest?
destined. Yeah, that's that stupid thing. Which is why I like how the Yukari system goes into that. That they're like, hey, you know the red thread of fate. We scientifically prove that it exists. Like, what? Yes. Yes. We can scientifically prove that it's a thing. I don't know. Because, by the way, it's a Chinese thing. It came from China to all their people who, like, emigrated. So the Japanese and the Koreans both have a version of it. So it's like the soulmate thing, you know? But, yeah.
Really not.
I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about where he's at.
I can see why she got paired up with him.
Yeah.
They're both
Well,
have no friends.
he's goofy. He doesn't know how to talk. He's always awkward. She says shit flat out, which is what resulted her being, like, ostracized. She has no tact. And for Nejima, that works out perfectly because Nejima's always anxious about trying to understand what people mean. What's this? What's that? Is that real? Oh, fuck. But with Dina, he doesn't have to think about it because she just says it flat out. She says, fuck you, you're being disrespectful, or I want to go do this, or I want to spend time with my friends now. It's all very vocalized, and that's great for him. There's no guesswork there. And his softer personality complements her more abrasive personality really well. I get why they're supposed to be quote unquote destined to be together. It would be fine, except for the fact that he's already in love with somebody. And at first, Ririna's okay with it. She's like, "Oh, that's cool. I don't really get love or anything, so it's whatever." If anything, that's that one thing. And she goes like, I would like to see you guys kiss. I'd like to support your love. And it was like, and then they go to her house and then like actually just kiss in front of her.
Yeah,
and I was like,
she gets really happy.
Yeah, she's really in on it. She's like, oh, this is great. But then after a while, it stops being great. Because it's like, No, I don't want you to kiss him. I want to kiss him. Why do I have that feeling inside? And then her friend, Mimi Saki, goes, are you fucking kidding me? Are we discussing this honestly? You're in love with him. And then she goes, no. No, I couldn't be. How does that make sense? He likes Takasaki, and I love Takasaki too, and I want them to be together. And she goes like, and Mimi Saki just again goes like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you being serious with me right now? You realize every time you talk about your friends, you always talk about him the most and the longest, right? And she's like, no, no. Wait, do I? Which is why also I don't like that class they gave the kids. Like, yes, sex ed is necessary, but you don't just show people porn. You don't just show people porn. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's weird. They
That's
could just show
fucking-
the science things.
Yeah, you could do the thing that I got in high school, which is a textbook with the organs, and just explain what's going on. Mind you, I already well past knew about it, but the point is, there's easier ways to do it. They don't have to be weird, where you turn off all the lights, get the couple sitting next to each other and put on porn and go, there you go. That's why we gave you condoms. Peace. Like, come on.
I mean, they said all the benefits of it.
Aren't you government workers? Yeah, well, actually, oxytocin is a real ass thing. I like that almost everything they brought up is a real ass thing. But fun fact, oxytocin doesn't need to be because of sex. You can get oxytocin from hugs. It's a feeling of closeness. That's what releases it in your brain. So, I remember that because I was doing a project with somebody where they were talking where like everybody was supposed to pick a thing, and I was like, here, talk about the benefits of some random shit, and I talked about the benefits of learning to cook, and this guy talked about the benefits of being emotionally close to people, and I was like, I have difficulty with that. He's like, why? And I'm like, look, let's just say it has to do with my upbringing, okay? Touching people is not a thing I'm okay with. I have lots of difficulty touching people. If you touch me for longer than 45 seconds, I might stab you. Like, I just can't. I just can't. No. No. And I thought about my upbringing, I'm like, no, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense to me. So yeah, he was giving a whole speech about how oxytocin is a bond and familiarity thing, and it makes you feel better as a person. Because it has the same effects as endorphins. You know, the shit that makes you happy in your brain?
Yep.
Yeah, same thing. So, no, it doesn't necessarily need to be boned down. You could get it from just, like, having a close emotional bond to a friend. So, okay, science lady.
I think
Fine.
they're just trying to get them to.
They're really trying to push for do it now. Do it now. Do everything now. We're giving you a room. Stay in that room. And then Yajima fucking lies and goes, hey, just so you know, we got cameras in there. and Yajima buys it. Which, dude, that's super illegal. How could they possibly do that? But he's slow, so I get it. Mind you, that's the first time he kisses Didina, and she's not super okay with it. And then the
It
second
was
time,
really forced.
and the second time she pushes it. She goes, hey, I'm eventually gonna fall in love with somebody else. Mind you, at that point, Nejima's also debating his feelings for Didina, because he's like, seeing her with another guy, I don't think I'd like that. I was like, fuck you, dude. Look, you're either gonna pick one, or you can tell them both how you feel. I don't know. You figure it out. But if
Najima has
that-
a hard time letting people go.
I'm just saying, if he's a huge coward about, like, I want to let everybody go, then you might not have to if they're okay with it. But you have to make everything really clear. Which is why Yajima and Ichijo are such an interesting circumstance. Those are, like, the government workers who were assigned to work with Takasaki and Najima. Because Yajima tells the whole story. He's like, oh yeah, I used to go out with this girl when I was in high school, and I really loved her. But then, got her. She was always so busted up about her family, because like her family was not great, and she blamed it on the fact that she wasn't born from the Yukari system. So she said, I'll always want to get married to my Yukari partner. But then when she gets her notice, she tells me, "Hey, if you tell me that you'll marry me, then I won't marry that guy." And I cowered it out because I wanted her to be happy, and I thought that would make her happy. And now I regret it every day. And he tells that to Nejima without knowing that Ichijo, his coworker, is the person Yajima's talking about.
Yeah.
So when Ichijo goes to ask Nejima about why Ririna says, "Recalculate my thing, I feel this is wrong," and he says it, Ichijo gets really pissed. Ichijo gets so mad because she goes like, "That's him putting a rose-tinted glasses on our youthful time. He's a selfish prick. All he had to do was say no. It's his fucking fault. He's overcomplicating things, and fuck him." And then Nejima goes like, "Why are you so angry about this?" Because he still doesn't get it. Is he really mad, lady? He's like, "Yeah, he can't fucking keep bitching about the last 15 years of his life. He should grow up and be a goddamn adult." And I was like, "Okay, lady, and you need to grow up and be a goddamn adult too. Your notice said you're gonna marry Ririna. Marry Ririna. Stop getting hung up on pointless bullshit." And that's that. And then she like fucking sexually assaults him in the bathroom. And when he really realizes, oh, a physiological reaction is like that. Oh, and she goes, "See, you'd get out for anybody. Fuck you. Bye. I'm out. Your love is a lie." And he's, and again, that's her being really mad about the Yajima thing. Also, counterpoint, physiological reactions are not a thing that you can control.
No.
I think that the entire point of Koito Uso is love is a much larger and complicated concept than people give it any credit. The reasons you fall in love with someone and the way you express that love is really vast and diverse, right? It's a complicated feeling.
Like just because this guy is really honest. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. To that end, it's very difficult to understand how you feel about love and when you can be sure you're in love with someone, right? Because everyone has different things that they're looking for in different ways that they feel about shit. So when Ichijo's like sexually assaulting Nejima and goes like, "See, you'd get a boner for any woman," I have to argue, hey, a physiological reaction doesn't represent anything, honestly. This is gonna be kind of heavy, but hey, I need to go here for this purpose. People who have been raped, like rape victims, sometimes they one of the many difficulties they feel about reporting the rape is that they can feel this like excited by the action, but internally detest what's happening. You can't control a physiological reaction. That doesn't say anything about whether it was okay or whether you quote unquote wanted it, It's just your body doing what it does. So to say that like, haha, see, you're full of shit, that's not fair to say. A physiological reaction, because people are, at least I like to think, people aren't the same thing as animals exactly, because we have abstract thought, I can conceptualize a machine and build it. I've never seen any other animal do that. They can figure out how to use things, like sticks. Like, look, if I put the stick in the hole, there's bugs on the stick now. But, like, the chimpanzee does not have the intelligence required to build an assault rifle. That's a uniquely human trait. The ability to have abstract thought about things that don't have to be physical or present to understand. This might go back to fucking Doreiku, where I was like, dogs can't understand the concept of betrayal.
But he kicked the guy.
Not only did he kick a guy, the dog said, "I will never forgive anyone who betrays my family," which is not a thought a dog could have. That's too complex a thought for a dog to have. And with that in mind, him being in love with Takasaki, I don't think has any necessarily is only attached to the fact that he thinks she's hot.
Nah,
because when he first met Ririna, he's like, "She's really pretty, but I don't care."
Yeah.
That's his entire thought process. Like, she's really pretty, but I want to see Takasaki. I want to go talk to Takasaki. I want to hang out with her. I want to see how she's feeling, because I know this isn't a great time for her. Which is why Rina even talks to him the first time. She's like trying to do an introduction. He's still thinking about Takasaki, and she yells at him, "Like you're being rude. Fuck off!" And he's like, "Huh? Oh, what? Oh, shit. Sorry."
She immediately detests him.
Yeah, she was really hard on him on minute one, but then came full circle. The point is, I think that Ichijo doing that thing is exactly like the same reason Yajima does what he does, which is they're bitter about their way their youth turned out, and they're trying to reinforce, no, this is the right thing. It's not my fault. It's you're the one who's fucked up. You know? They're trying to, I guess, come to terms with what's happened to them by saying that it's the other people who are wrong. You know? It's
Wait,
the whole
who?
Yajima and Ichijo, the fucking government assistants.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're trying to cover up their flaws by just making the other people go along with it. And I was like, no, it happened to me, it'll happen to you. Fuck you. I'm okay. I'm okay. It makes me think of people who, like, can't come up with an actual defense when they're in an argument, so they just have to attack the person. You know? It's like, you're wrong because of this reason. Yeah, well, you're fucking ugly. Like, that's not a defense. It's not an actual argument. You're trying to distract from the fact that you've already lost.
The guy though, he seemed like he was he was trying to move on. Like he said he was gonna talk to her again.
He's trying to now, but that was after Nejima gave him the whole thing. Remember when Nejima was like, I thought you were an asshole, but you're okay. And he's like, maybe I am okay. Like, now he's moving past it. But the fact that he still thinks about being with Ichijo from time to time says he's not all the way past it. Like, when he saw that toy in her bag, that gift that he gave her, he really freaked out.
It's like, oh, maybe she still likes me.
Exactly, that means he's not over it yet.
I do hope they get back together, but
I would like it, but it's unrealistic.
they're already...
Yeah. Although, to be fair, Takasaki's parents are literally the result of a divorce. But it's a little different, because Takasaki's mother was married to somebody, and then she decided, you know what, fuck it, I'll go with my notice this time, and she remarried with the guy that she had a notice with. So it's a little different, because what happened was Ichijo always went on and on about how, like, her family's all fucked up, and she's like, I bet if my parents were like Yukari system parents, it'd be great. So I don't ever want to have to, like, ruin a family's life by having to go along with it. Which is actually similar to what Takasaki says, because when Takasaki and Nejima are having their breakup moment, and Takasaki tells him, do you think you could be with me even if it meant ruining your life? Because there's a lot of social stigma that comes with being involved in a non-Yukari marriage. Like, the divorce rates are higher, people frown on it, there's a lot of shit that goes to it. And Nejima says, yeah, sure, whatever, but she still breaks up with him. So Ichijo's thing was like, yeah, I want to be in a Yukari marriage. But then she gives Yajima the choice of saying, hey, do you actually still want to ignore the notices anyway? And Yajima says no. I assume mostly because he remembers how sad her childhood is and how he thinks to himself, this'll make her happy, even if it makes me sad. Ichijo sees it as him being a coward, but I don't actually know. So it is what it is. So that's probably why they're in that weird spot. I'm surprised that they got the same job.
That was just...
That's weird.
That's the third, right? Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, I guess that's the real red thread, isn't it? That science doesn't mean shit. But that's kind of the thing to Koito Uso, is it's like, okay, so science has proven that this person is really good for you. You're already in love with this other person. Which one are you going to pick? Do you have utmost faith that the science is right? He does slowly start to develop feelings for Rina, but he still really loves Takasaki, and he doesn't know how to feel about where he's at now. And that's that his best friend is just fucking leaving him now, and he has nothing else going on. Because he doesn't want to exactly be with Rina. He wants to be with Takasaki, but she doesn't want him. and he needs someone else to talk to. But Nisaka's leaving because Nisaka's been in love with him for years, and he doesn't know how to. And Nisaka's decided I can't put myself through this anymore, which is all of them very fair arguments. It's just complicated, and that's kind of the nature of love. And that's why I think I enjoy this so much. So I feel bad that people are like, eh. And I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot going on here, and I feel that you're probably not giving it all its due. But then again, fuck it. I like it. It's always been my stance on these things. That's why we're doing this show, right? Fuck you. I like this thing.
I can see like people over here not liking it because they usually don't like the soft, squishy guys.
That's another thing. That's also funny. You bring that up. I forget that sometimes because people hate Shinji. Remember? People passionately hate Shinji. The best friends, the guys we happen to like a bunch, Wooly and Pat hate Shinji. Like, passionately. Versus, I love Shinji. I understand that person way more than anyone else. The big, boisterous, haha, I'm gonna show everyone I'm cool guy. I hate that guy. That guy's an asshole. That guy's a douchebag who's gonna drag you into a bunch of shit you don't want to be part of because he's like, no, I know what's right for you. I'm deciding now. Fuck you. Which is like one of the protagonists of Gurren Lagann. Like Kamina, the people everyone talks about. He's like, he's so cool, he's so awesome. I think he's an asshole because his entire principle of being is, look, don't worry about being a coward. Have faith in me. And we're gonna do that thing even if you're afraid. Fuck your feelings. I know what's right. I know what's right.
It's like a dictatorship.
I mean, it's essentially a pushy friend, you know? It's the kind of person where you're like, I don't drink. And you're like, come on. Like, I don't drink. Come on. I don't drink. Come on. That. Is that for your entire relationship? Which, mind you, I'll admit, I've been kind of at fault for doing that every once in a while. When we were at my house and Steve had one drink, but guess what? Since he made it very clear how much he doesn't like it, he's never had one again with me ever. Because I don't want to make him do that because he's my friend and I care about him. So I more respond and understand the nervous, squishy guy who's like, fuck, did I do the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? I don't know how I'm feeling. I don't like that, but I don't feel like I have any right to say anything about it. Like, I understand that guy a lot more. I'm afraid, so I'm going to run away. I get that. I super get that. That makes so much sense to me as a person. Because what? Are you going to be an asshole? Is that your alternative? I'm going to be a dick about it? Because fuck you. It's about me? No. No. It's not a cool way to live your life. Which, I reiterate, it's a very Japanese outlook on the world. it's a lot of Western psychology is we're gonna change your world so you can feel happy, and a lot of like Eastern psychology is we're gonna change you so you can be happy with the world you live in because we're not changing the world, buddy. So yeah. The idea of alternative is be a dick. I don't give a shit. Learn to live within the boundaries. It goes back to the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. You know, I understand that guy a lot more than big, cool, pushy guy.
The guy that thinks everything is right.
Yeah, I guess that everything I do is right. I'm a hero. Fuck you. Like, that guy's an asshole to me. He's a dick. Because he's not even bothering to respect the feelings of other people.
It could just be, like, light.
Yeah, it's exactly that. And you know what? He's a villain. He's not a good guy.
But it's also the same guy from Gurren Lagann.
I also didn't like that.
They just portrayed it as, like...
Just the way that you light it. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because both of them are, I'm gonna do this because it's the right thing. And I guess in Gurren Lagann you could say, well, the villain is straight up a genocidal crazy person. Yeah, I guess in that circumstance you'd rather have the pushy guy. But I'm just saying, in the real world that we live in, that guy's an asshole. Like, okay, it's one of those things where it's like, well, the lesser of two evils. You know, it reminds me of something Pat mentioned on one of the Super Beast casts that was like, so the Final Fantasy 14, because that's the MMO, right? It's 14 that's the MMO.
Yep.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy 14, there was like a a whole expansion where you were like fighting this race of people, but they were written in a way where their motivation seems like you agree with them. Like not your character. Your character's I will fight you to the end. But like as a person, we can all kind of get behind what they're saying, and that's fucked up because you shouldn't be agreeing with your villain. If you agree with your villain, then you should be given the option to not fight anymore, right?
What about Kira?
Well, that's different. I don't necessarily agree with Kira because Kira's a serial murderer. I just understand him better than I appreciate his perspective more than Dio. I'm gonna take over the world, blah. Like Yoshikage Kira's thing is, I want to be left alone. All I want to do is live my day-to-day life here in this town where I grew up, where my family goes back generations. Okay, I want to live in my house. I want to eat sandwiches. I want to go to work. I want to come home. I want to do my workout. I want to drink a warm glass of milk. I get that. That's fine. The one part that's not okay is he murders women for their hands. If we could remove that element from his personality, he's okay. But because of that, no, we have to stop him. Which actually comes back to the 14 thing that I want to talk about. Because at the first part, everyone's like, oh, I super get this guy. This guy makes sense. I agree with him, blah, 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 blah. And then they release another quest or whatever. And Pat's like, oh, I can't believe they fucked this up. I already still agree with this guy. And then he starts doing some race war, like eugenics shit. He starts talking about how we are the superior race. And Pat goes, they had to make him a Nazi so I would hate him. They couldn't come up with anything else.
Yeah, that usually happens.
That's what I mean. It's that. That's the difference between Light and Kamina, is that Kamina is fighting a Nazi. That's the difference. But otherwise they're generally similar people, which explains to me why people tend to like that guy. I guess because it's one of those things where people self-insert more, so they're like, oh, I like that guy because he's cool and I want to be like him. Whereas I look at like Shinji and Neji and go like, I like that guy because he's already like me. That other guy's a douchebag. He's an awful human being, and if I had to hang out with him, I'd kill somebody. I'd probably kill him. Because, hey, I don't like spicy food. No, trust me, dude, it's great. I don't like spicy food. No, trust me, dude, it's great. Dude, no. What's the thing he says? It's believe in the me that believes in you, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Believe in me that believe in the me that believes in you. You can have this jalapeno, and then I die. Like, he's an asshole. I hate him. I hate that about him. And yeah, I think it's that. I think it's maybe there's certain people who like that, and then they try to come to this, and they see Nejima is the opposite. Nejima is Shinji, and they're like, fuck this. You know what? That's right. Now that I think about it, some of the reviews are like, man, Yukari sucks. He's a child. Yeah, that's kind of the point. He's 16.
Like, there wouldn't be any story if you just...
There wouldn't be any story, yeah. I mean, Romeo and Juliet only makes sense because Romeo is 16 and Juliet is 13. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. Because you're only at that age can you be that stupidly passionate. I don't know about you, but when I was like a teenager, I was angry all the fucking time. Like, hormones make you a monster. Hormones bring out the worst part of your personality. That's why everyone jokes about like angsty angry kid. Like, what are you gonna do? It wouldn't make sense if he was a grown ass man who's already married and shit. Then his wife would have to have died in an accident. He would have to learn to love again or some shit. It would be Stella got her groove back. It's a different kind of story. I'll admit that a lot of the problems come from a very Japanese outlook on the world. But there's nothing you can do about that because the writer is Japanese.
Yeah.
It's a conceptual thing. I understand it all the way. I can get why other people wouldn't get it. You know, I mean, part of why we like Fujimi Lovers is because that guy didn't give up, right?
Hmm. But he
So
also didn't like. He respected people's boundaries. Like when
y-
the Havari didn't like him.
wait, what?
Remember when she didn't like him at first? But he was like,
Oh
okay, I'll
yeah,
just be your friend or something like that.
yeah, yeah. But that was different. He was with her. He was her friend with intention to make her fall in love with him. He was like, I will be as close to you as possible because I don't want to leave. Did you say Hibari?
No,
I swear you said Hibari. That's not her name. Have you been watching Stop Hibari Kun?
I have, but it's
Yeah,
not
that's
the
what I
point.
thought.
It's a tangent.
Okay, okay, no, okay, sure.
Actually, it is a little related to this, but
I mean, they're both romance things. I'm actually really. You know what? No, we're. Let's not go into. Let's save that for when we decide to do an episode on Stop Hibari Kun. Let's do that.
okay,
Is that good?
okay,
We could really get into it at that point.
it's really good.
It's really good. Hey, if you're here, you get it. You should get it. That way, when the episode comes up, you can like leave comments and shit and join in the conversation or whatever. Should we mention it? You know the thing.
What thing?
Hold on. Should we mention the thing?
Wait, I still don't get it.
Oh my fucking god, you're stupid. Oh,
Oh,
I swear to
yeah, I
God,
forgot we had one.
I should. Yes,
we could
that's
do
why I
that.
said. Should we mention the thing?
Sure.
Okay, cool. If you're ever interested in sending us notes or whatever, like that guy who, give us a thumbs down for Defrag. If you want to tell us why Defrag is the best and we don't understand, you can send an email to mangapalette@gmail.com. Once again, that's mangapalette@gmail.com. It's literally the name of the channel. There's nothing to think about.
It's also in the about section.
It's also in the about section. Yeah, we probably should have said something about that, I don't know, like 20 episodes ago, but we're saying it now. So, get hype. If we get emails from people that are angry, I can't wait. I can't wait. It'll be like goosebumps. It'll be the most excited I could ever be. Should we do tasteful 9/11 jokes, or is that stealing too many things from too many people?
We could do it. It's fine.
We could do it. Yeah. Goosebumps will never know who we are. I love Dom Muschietti, and Dom will never know who I am. So, I could do it. He won't know.
Unless he goes to like Comic-Con or something.
Could you fucking imagine that the Goose Buds meet us? That's weird. That's weird. Because I've been following Paul since, like, what? Since I was 15? 14? That'd be weird to be able to meet Paul Ritchie myself. It's funny. All they do is make stupid videos where they goof about video games and other shit people don't care about, like the Goosebumps books. And yet, there's such a major influence on our comedic sensibility. Just like the Best Friends.
To be fair, the best friends did go to like Comic-Con and shit.
Yeah, but they did. That was way back when. They don't do that shit no more. Since they're dead now. Have you
They
been
still
watching?
might visit. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're friends.
Have you been watching Wooly play Devil May Cry 5?
I was gonna start that.
Oh boy, it's. I was looking at the game and I'm like, fuck.
I was gonna say that for the.
Want to buy it now? No, we can easily move over because all we have to do now is food.
Yeah. I was gonna say like
This is really sweet. This is really heavy. What are we doing?
sweet and bitter.
Do you think it's better?
Yeah, when he gets rejected.
Oh yeah, where we're at right now, it's bittersweet.
I want to say like something that comes all at once, like it hits you all at once. 'Cause I think that's where all the drama comes from.
Yeah,
That'd be more like a drink, right? But
probably. But drink is like also like insane,
yeah, it doesn't really.
It's not crazy. If anything, I would say this is one of the more grounded things we talk about.
Yeah, it's very grounded. Like it can actually happen.
Yeah.
sweet and grounded.
Okay,
That it-
how about bittersweet almond cake?
Bittersweet almond cake.
Yeah. Well, it has like a whole name. It's like amaretti. It's a whole stupid Italian thing. But so it's a dark chocolate cake that has the texture of a brownie and a torte, but it also has almonds, and almonds are kind of, you know. And it's usually also has a crap ton of sugar, with the amaretti that is involved. How about that? Because the cake is the texture of a brownie. You know, brownies are not soft.
No,
Brownies are heavy. Brownies are fudgy, motherfucker.
that's what I was worried about.
That's not a sentence I thought I'd ever say in my life.
Brownies are heavy.
Brownies are fudgy, motherfucker. I never thought I'd say that in my life. Never once in my life did I ever expect those words in that order to come out of my mouth. What do you think? What do you think?
Are brownies bitter?
Well, no, but it's made with dark chocolate. That's the joke. Dark chocolate and almonds is somewhat bitter.
Could we just make it a brownie?
Do you want to make an almond brownie?
Yeah.
Okay, almond dark chocolate brownie. That works.
Because I've never had the cake before.
I am now considering making that cake. Because I like cake. I like baking. That's partially why I gave myself the name Pastissier. I'm living up to the name now more than ever. But yeah, let's do that then.
It's an almond fudge brownie.
Almond fudge brownie. Okay, cool. Well, that's that. Do you have a news item this week? Because everybody should shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I was comparing Devil May Cry 5 came out.
Okay. Well, shut the fuck up. It's time for the news. And I guess the news is, look, Devil May Cry's out. Somebody play Devil May Cry 5. Please. Please. Please go play Devil May Cry 5. There's a lot that's changed from Devil May Cry 4 to 5, apparently.
We have all three of them now.
I mean, besides having multiple characters, like Nero's play style is different. It's like switching the devil arms. There's a burst mode that people aren't using because they're like, nah, I'm already good with the sick ass combos from the devil arms on their own. But yeah, I'm interested in the fact that Dante uses his motorcycle as a weapon because that was supposed to happen in Devil May Cry 2. That was the thing that was supposed to happen, but they didn't have the time to put it in because Devil May Cry 2 was made in like 6 months. So instead, they're putting it in now. I saw a bit of it. It's pretty fucking crazy. When Itsuno said this game will exceed all your expectations, I guess he wasn't kidding. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he was like,
just trying to hype it up.
yeah, I thought he was, feeling himself, but nah, I was wrong. I was wrong. Sick as shit. Can I just say, character action games are not that popular. So I thought it was funny when you were like, all the kids are gonna be in on Devil May Cry 5, and I'm like, dude, no. No, they're not. You're like, why not? I was like, name the most popular character action games on your hand right now, and you were like, Devil May Cry. I was like, yeah, that's what the fuck I thought. Like God of War, but God of War nowhere near as complex as Devil May Cry. Revengeance was really popular, but it was just the one game. Bayonetta is the sequel to Devil May Cry, in all honesty. So, yeah. By the way, I now have a fixed position for the chronology. So I understand now. I know the order. So it goes Devil May Cry 3, Devil May Cry 1. The TV show. Devil May Cry 2, Devil May Cry 4, Devil May Cry 5.
So it starts off with him in the pizza shop. Okay.
Well, the pizza shop, yeah, but that was like that was a time skip after the first thing, which is him at the top of the tower with Virgil. They look so alike. The three of them look so alike.
Yeah.
But yep.
Devil May Cry 5.
Devil May Cry 5. Everybody fucking loves it, except for the music. A lot of people had issue with the music. Devil Trigger. Fuck you. Bang, bang, bang. Pull my Devil Trigger. Also, can I just say, when people were like, Dante's song is kind of blah, I was like, yeah, that's what you get for letting deathcore band Suicide Silence write it. That's what you get. That's what you get. I have a distaste for deathcore. Let me just put that out there.
It's too lazy.
It bores me. You know what I think it is? I don't like breakdowns all that much, and that's like most of deathcore. If you don't have like at least one breakdown, that's not a deathcore song. Remember Crabcore? Remember that thing I showed you where all the guys are like, yeah, it's like that. It bores me. It bores me as a guitarist, so I have a personal distaste. But yeah. Oh, on the side note, the song by Suicide Silence, their vocalist is gone because sexual misconduct. So, Still though, Devil May Cry on Devil May Cry 5 on Tit for Tat is almost gotten perfect 10s everywhere. Destructoid gave it a 10. Fucking PC Gamer gave it a 9. Fucking IGN gave it a 9.5, but who trusts IGN? Fucking Famitsu gave it a 37 out of 40. Eurogamer gave it a 9. Fucking Metro gave it a 9. Like it's almost perfectly scoring pretty much everywhere, which is great because I want more people to play Devil May Cry 5. There's a little thing where they have a clip that gives you the story in order. They go like, hey, these are the things. This is the order of Devil May Cry. We'll give you the hot takes. Here's a little bit. All you need to know about 3. All you need to know about 1. All you need to know about the anime. All you need to know about 2. I think they mentioned 2 for like one line, and then they immediately skipped to 4. Cause who gives a shit? But yep, fucking great. Everyone get excited about Devil May Cry 5. That's the news, I guess. Devil May Cry 5 exists.
Yeah.
Someone get it. Is that essentially what yours was?
Yeah.
How informative. How informative. Well, the thing I wanna bring up is a little less important, but a little more important. I don't know where this stacks because I really like Devil May Cry, but I mean, you know, this is cool. Nande Koko ni Sensei ga is a manga I read that is gross. It's disgusting. I love it. Of course, I love it. It's getting an anime?
Already?
Yeah! It's coming out next month, April 8th. So
Spring anime section.
Yeah? Oh yeah, everyone. We're not getting paid by AniChart, but check out AniChart. It helps. It keeps up
Don't
with things.
email us saying why aren't you sponsored by AniChart?
We're not sponsored by anybody. We're just naturally shills. I wish I could do the Jeff Thu double shill, but I'm not capable of that. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I saw that. That's gross.
Where he shills and then immediately leads into another shill? That's... Man, his father must have been a salesman. There's no way you're that good at shilling naturally. He has to have been trained. But, yeah. Nanda Koko ni Sensei ga is disgusting. It's essentially... Guy has teacher that he's very close to. And then they end up in... 2W-esque situations. And then he and teacher fall in love. And then another teacher, another student. Another teacher, another student. Another teacher, another student. I've been reading the manga for a while now. This is an example of how disgusting it is. Ahem. So, guy accidentally wins tickets to Hot Spring. Teacher says, we'll go. He's like, okay. Trip. Fall. where is your knee pushing? And he's like, I don't know. Can you help me get up? And she's like, okay. No, wait. It's rubbing there. And he's like, what do you mean? We have to move. She's like, wait, no, stop moving. There you go. There you go.
Oh my god.
There you go. Nambe Koko ni Sensei ga disgusting and on television. And if you need it to be the extra gross, I guess wait till it comes out on DVD. Because, you know, they will have to change some stuff for television. But then it'll be like Rosario to Vampire Season 2, where I'm like, oh, giant bat. I wonder what that's about. Buy the DVD, all the whole screen is her underwear. Oh no. Oh no. So, for those of you invested, it comes out in 27 days and 19 hours from this recording. Thank you, AnyChart. Say, that's useful. It's useful. It's not a shill, it's just useful. Like, no one is getting paid by Band-Aid when they say put a Band-Aid on it. But yes, Band-Aid is a name brand, I understand that. Okay, buddy. Oh shit, good hype!
Oh, shit.
Oh shit! Alright, tell me what you're excited about.
This is a Power Rangers fighting game.
Wait, what? Really?
It's a Marvel style Power Rangers fighting game.
So Hyper Fighter, 6 buttons,
Mhm.
tagging. Is it old Marvel or new Marvel? I mean, 2-on-2 or 3-on-3?
It's 3-on-3.
3-on-3. Okay. So it's more like UMVC 3.
Yeah.
Did they already show what the characters and the combat's gonna look like with the gameplay trailer? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Justin Wild's playing it.
Oh. You have been watching his channel more. That makes sense that you would have caught up on that.
It's not fully
Okay.
released yet, but it has some. It's Marvel,
Awesome
so
stuff going on. It's basically Marvel, so
that's
yeah.
good DHC Marvel.
It's good. It's good. I like that. That's really cool. Recently I've been watching a lot more Red Letter Media, so that's similar. Anywho, time for me to talk about what I'm hype about. Surprise, surprise! It's a fucking manga, y'all. Hope you're not shocked, but
I'm shocked.
fuck you.
I didn't see that coming.
Your tone of voice makes me so sad. Whenever you're like, I am surprised. Like right now, just like I am shocked. Just shut up. Yeah. Okay. So, what do I like besides romance, Isaiah? Give me another genre of a subgenre of manga that I read a crap ton of. That's not horror and not romance.
With something mysteries, ontological mysteries. Yeah.
Ontological mysteries.
Yeah.
Close. There's like 5 major things I read.
And then it's Death Games.
Death games and ontological mysteries have a lot of rap over.
Alright, what is it?
Delinquent fighting manga.
Oh yeah.
So I don't like fight things, generally speaking. But something I am fascinated by is delinquent fight manga. Which is to say, look at these street toughs beating the shit out of each other for pointless reasons. I'm not gonna tell you why I like it, I just know I do. You know why though, don't you, Isaiah?
Yep.
So, I've been reading a manga called Out. So, the guy goes to jail. Guy goes to jail. It's tough. They put him out. You're on probation now. Move him halfway across the country. Here's the thing. You do one thing, when we catch you, you're going back in, and you're going in as an adult this time. You're not coming back out. He goes, shit, I don't want to go back. Especially not what happened last time. It's just not explained until like way later. He's working at his aunt's restaurant. Asshole comes in. Decides to be flashy. Guy's name is Iguchi Tatsuya. We're gonna call him Iguchi. Iguchi gets pissed. Takes it outside. Fucks him up. Nothing is said. Goes to get some cigarettes. Guy's smoking some cigarettes. He looks at him. Guy says, what are you looking at? He goes, nothing. What about you? And they go into an alleyway fight. Iguchi beats the shit out of him. Guy admits, hey, look, here's the thing. I'm like third rank in like the biggest local gang. I don't need people knowing you beat the shit out of me. So can you keep it quiet? He's like, dude, I'm out on parole. I don't need anyone knowing I fight, period. He goes, okay, cool. Yeah, that works. That works for me and that works for you. He ends up becoming friends with a bunch of gang members. And they get into fights, because they're gangbangers. What are you gonna do? And because they live out in the middle of the city, ain't nobody got guns. So if they lived in the big city, everybody would have guns. But because they don't, ain't nobody got guns. So just fist fights. Fist fights and sometimes weapons like knives and bats and the like. Recently, it's been coming to a pretty crazy position. So the friends that he makes is with the 7th generation leader, right? The 7th generation leader sorta, I mean, it's not totally been explained yet, but it's very clear. He snitched on the 6th generation leader who murdered the 5th generation leader. Like, brutal, cold murder. At which point he's like, fuck, what's that about? 6th generation leader and all his friends get out of jail, and they immediately decide, yeah, we're going back. Fuck y'all. You thought you could take me out? You're wrong. You're wrong. So they're going back and they're fighting with the 7th generation guys. The 7th generation guys are making friends with Iguchi. The 6th generation guys make friends with Iguchi. So this is starting to get kind of heavy, Shit, how are we gonna do this? Iguchi, they tell him, you have to pick a side. He goes, I'm not even involved in your stupid fucking fight. I don't give a shit. I don't give a rat's ass. Fuck off. 7th generation leader goes like, that's cool. 6th generation leader goes, that's whatever. 6th generation leader's second in command, though, comes to meet him at a park and pulls out a gun and says, look, man, we need your help. We're not going to win without you. He goes, I don't want to be part of your thing. He's like, that's what I thought. He's like, that's why you have the gun, right? You're ready to shoot me? You better fucking kill me, because if you don't kill me, you're going to wish you did. And he was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I like you. You're a cool guy. Blah, blah. And then the guy he's with fucking jumps him. So right now, the 6th generation has a bunch of people mobbing around to murder, or like at least beat down and subjugate the members of the 7th generation. And you were given the flashback to see that the 5th generation leader was a monster who tortured and brutalized and murdered people. Like, horribly. The main reason the 6th generation guys decided to kill him was because a friend of theirs was sick of getting taken advantage of, which isn't fully explained. I think it might be like more than just physical abuse, but who knows? So he's sick of getting taken advantage of, so he decides to try to sneak attack the 5th generation leader, and it fails. And they go to find him and see his corpse strung up with his organs splayed out all over the ground. And they're like, "What did you do?" He's like, "Yeah, he never snitched, so I just kept hitting him, and I kept fucking with him." And, well, he's dead now, So, yeah. This manga's brutal. This manga's fucked. There's a lot of people fighting each other. That's all it's about. And I love it. I want y'all to love it, too.
Is it finished?
You probably won't. No. Like I said, right now, where we're at is it's coming to a head. Like, the 6th generation guys are circling and trying to kill and beat and subjugate all the 7th generation guys. And Iguchi has to pick a side. The 6th generation guys are, like, cold. Like, they're brutal. It's amazing how, like, nonsensically brutal they are. They get into a fight with some guy in the street. And, like, the 6th generation guy is about to murder him. Like, he picks up a boulder and is about to drop it on his face. And just turn his face into goo. And Iguchi goes like, no! And then he pushes him out the way. He goes like, yeah, okay, fine. He throws a rock to his second in command, this skinny little wimpy guy. And this guy goes like, thank you so much. And then he goes over and starts savagely beating the man's face in with the rock. All while saying thank you and looking very happy while he's beating his face into a pulp. And Iguchi's just standing there like, wow, you guys are fucked up. Because the gang guys that he hangs out with aren't that bad. Like they're bad, but they're not stone cold murderers.
Yeah, that's basically what they are.
Versus these guys are stone cold murderers. But they weren't stone cold murderers. They came to this point because of the fifth generation leader. So I don't know. Again, I understand where they're coming from, but I don't condone any of it. So it's just a weird spot, and Iguchi has to pick a side. Also, the guy who wrote this, Mizuta Makoto, although he goes by using the name of the characters in his manga, so this one is Iguchi Tatsuya wrote the book, but he wrote Drop and the prequel to Drop, Chicken. Drop became a live-action movie, if you're interested, so that's cool. I also have a fascination with this delinquent fighting crap. So Drop, Out, Crows, all of this is really cool to me. And I really like Out, and I hope you guys look it up. And that's all I got.
Alright. So I guess that's it.
Yeah, with that in mind, this has been Manga Palate, and thank you very much for listening. And if you're still here, you get it.
Yeah, you guys get it.
You guys get it.